You are here because life feels fine. But you are done with fine. You know you are made for more. And you've asked, is this it? Too many times now. This isn't just another episode. This is your permission slip to turn fine back into fire. We're Charlotte and Kat, coaches through and through, but more importantly, real women who've been there. We help women come home to themselves and create a life that feels exciting, energizing, and completely their own again. Around here, we get real conversations, real stories, and real transformations from the women in our community who dared to go all in. If you're ready to stop existing, to stop settling for fine, and to start truly living, welcome home. Hello, everybody. So, as you know by now, we are the Authentic Girls Club, and one of the most asked questions that we get in our DMs, in our membership, is how do you find your authentic self again? How do you live as her again? And it's such an important question. And we want to deep dive into this today, don't we, Kat? And really unearth the how so that you walk away knowing that this gets to be simple. Like, this gets to be doable. And with every choice you make in a day, you can do this. And it's about really unearthing the difference, right, between our conditioned self and our authentic self. Like, the conditioned self is the self that thought she had to change along the way, that thought she had to alter herself to fit, to blend in, to, kind of to belong, to be approved of. But the authentic self has always been there. And I think the key is, like, we don't have to become our authentic self. It's not something that we have to do. It's someone that we have to remember. And I've kind of got really a bit of a story just to begin with of just how I started to remember my authentic self. And I was on YouTube, as I am sometimes, searching for a little meditation, and I cannot even tell you what meditation this was, but it was a meditation I came across, and it was just in the intro. And this is how sometimes these things, right, they just land and have such a profound impact. And it just invited me to put my hand on my heart and appreciate its beat. And there was obviously bits going on in I don't know, with life around those times, but I did that. And wow, I realized that I was a person, like that there was a me in there. Like, I had got so busy in the conditioning and the conditioned self of looking after everybody else, making it about everybody else, that I'd totally forgotten that I had a heart in there and I was a person in there and I had needs, wants, desires, dreams. And I could start listening to her again. So that was my kind of moment where I was like, wowie, there is a me in there.
I love that. Thank you for sharing that, Charlotte. I love it when you remind us of that moment you had because, like you say, it can just be those small moments sometimes, right at the perfect time, that
Yeah.
has a really profound shift and that allowed you to just really see yourself as somebody that matters. Like, because we can
Yes.
spend a lot of our time focusing on others and outside of us, and over time we can just become disconnected from our true selves, our authentic selves. And what I really want to touch on is a word that you said that really, I think, is a really beautiful way of kind of summarizing this journey back to authentic self, and that's remembering. Remembering who we are before the world told us who to be, remembering who we are before we started doing the things we think we should, or just going along to make others happy, or going along to keep the peace, or quietening down, or fitting in, or, being the good girl. Like, it's just a remembering she is still in there. And I think that immediately kind of, I don't know, for me personally, it kind of took a little bit of a pressure off because there was definitely a moment where I sat there, I was like, I'm not quite sure who I am anymore. And especially actually after motherhood, in terms of
Yeah.
an identity piece. I definitely felt like you know, naturally your focus is on your kids, isn't it? It's you know, things priorities shift when you become a parent. And that's all that's great, you know, it's beautiful, it's a beautiful privilege to have. But you then find yourself going like, well, I've put so much into everybody else for so long. But what do I like? Like even down to like such granular things like what I'm sorry, what brings me joy?
Yeah.
Like, who am I? And it kind of starts to unearth a few bits. But I think what I just wanted to say was that remembering piece, it's almost an invitation to just come home to yourself rather than thinking that you're lost or you're stuck and you've got to go on this journey to search and find like kind of reinvent or create. Like you're there,
Yeah.
already there, and it gets to be so much easier than we may feel
Mhm.
that it is.
Yeah, definitely. And we are. And it's just I kind of an analogy that I've used over time as and I remember it was one that I shared with you right when we first met, was this feeling of just being wrapped in cords. And like I was just desperate to break free of them. And like that for me resembles like my authentic self was in there. But these cords were all the things that I kind of added on top of that, kind of the things that I thought I should be, the things that I thought I had to do, all of those kind of pieces. And it just, yeah, it meant that my authentic self was so deeply covered that it was just about uncovering her,
Mm,
remembering her, like, and actually choosing to be her again. And I remember it was in little things like, where you just hand everything away, like decisions, the things that you wanted, like even as much as like a birthday present. Like I'd be like, oh, I don't know what I want, like, or like, just like these kind of things. When I was in that disconnection, I don't know, it was all that had gone. And I think it was a
mm,
case of bringing that back into the light and actually sitting with that. What do I want for my birthday? What do
yeah,
I want for tea? What do I want to do with this hour that I've got to myself and not clean the house like a crazy person and be more frustrated than before?
yeah.
Um, and all these pieces have mattered along the way, and I think have kind of removed all of the shoulds, the expectations, and actually helped me get to the root of who I am, what I like, what I enjoy. Um,
The
yeah,
chords, I love that as
yes,
as a kind of a visual, and I get that. I get it, and I suppose for me, my sort of similar thing is like being in like the box and like with all the different labels that you've kind of just like accumulated through conditioning over the years. But I'm not sure if that like I don't want that. I don't want that. I don't want that. So a bit of an unboxing. But in terms of the chords, I don't suppose can you remember like what those like if you could pick one chord, like what did it signify? Like what was that? What was one of the chords you were wrapped in as an example?
yeah, great question. So definitely put everybody else first.
Mm.
Um, Listen, don't speak.
Mm.
Else,
That's really interesting. Listen,
yeah,
don't speak. So they're kind of, yeah, if we just pick at them a little bit further, they're beliefs, perhaps stories
yeah,
that are
yeah,
kind of keeping you. When you think of being wrapped in something, it's kind of constrained, isn't it? Not you don't really have that freedom of expression or freedom to be
yeah,
you. So we're wrapped up in like put everybody else first, listen, don't speak. And here I'm hearing like this is the conditioning parts of what we think we should be doing.
exactly. And I think for me, it was I then, because I'd altered so much of myself or kept so much quiet, then that just became a normal. And I remember the chords feeling tighter as I got older because I'd be sat in a group of friends and I'd want to voice or speak out. But then I stopped myself and I really struggled to. And it was just at the risk of sounding silly or not fully understanding what they were talking about and feeling like I don't know, what I had to say didn't matter.
Wow. Oh, hello.
That's wait,
Hello.
hello there.
What I had to say didn't matter.
Yeah,
That's another chord. maybe.
Yeah,
There's a word you just shared. You said, I had to alter.
yeah.
Let's look at that a bit. What do you mean by that? I had to alter.
I was just a shy girl who didn't really know very much, which is not a very nice way to look at myself, is it? And that's really sad to me, actually, that from probably quite a young age, I didn't really feel like I had very much to offer. Oh, God, blimey, we're going deep.
Hello, hello. It's okay.
But yeah, I don't know, just little things that I just feel like I was different. Like I didn't kind of have the same likes as a lot of my friends. And like, I don't know, not the same likes, but like, I don't know, like even from like a young age, like makeup and stuff like that, it was never something that I kind of like got into. And it's interesting now because actually I notice myself still have this. Like, I don't really know how to do makeup and I don't really know how to look after my skin very well. And actually, I there's an old part of me that feels really unsure in that space because I'm like, I'm old enough now, I should know this stuff, but I don't. So
Oh,
for me to go and buy makeup or skincare, I hate it.
do you?
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
interesting, isn't it?
isn't it? Because there's an insecurity there that I don't know what I'm talking about still at the ripe old age of however old I am now, 30, 36. Am I 30? I think 36.
We'll go with that.
Times a sneaky extra year. No, definitely 36. I think I'm 36. Um, but yeah,
So altering then, altering would suggest like changing who you are. So
yeah,
what were you altering for? Altering to do what?
to fit in and to I suppose not stand out, to just be able to just be in the group and in the space and
Mm,
just not be caught out for not having a clue what I was doing with makeup. Which is crazy, isn't it?
mm.
And
But if you
and
look
that's
at,
where like yeah, to voice thoughts and stuff, I'd like be like, oh, but I don't know whether I might have just got that really wrong, so I'm just not going to say anything.
mm, you look at it on a broader scale though, so the chords you're wrapped in, like there's been altering of self,
Yeah,
and those chords of kind of help with that altering to to fit in essentially
yeah,
to be who you think you should be. And then you mentioned that they've got tighter over the years, and I can only imagine that feels quite uncomfortable when they get
yeah,
tighter. And that's that moment where you go, "Holy shit balls! Like I'm so disconnected with myself. time to
yeah.
it's time to cut these cords and breathe." And
Really,
yeah,
yes. And it was like a deep breath, that first chord of just, for me, that looked like, I'd got this idea, I'm going to start figuring it out. That was a chord for me. Like it was embracing the fact that I'd always felt different and actually going, there's something in this idea. Like, and I want to figure out what it is. And obviously that's the Authentic Girls Club today.
yay,
So that was a huge breathing moment of actually honoring myself, like and and moving with something rather than shying away because it was silly or it was I didn't get it and I was too different that nobody else would understand. You know what I mean? Like,
more and more chords. I'm just hearing chords,
yeah,
which are the beliefs, aren't they? And we're driven by what we believe,
yeah,
aren't we? So it's obviously the journey of cutting those off to get back into alignment and get back to your true
yeah,
authentic self. So I'd love to explore a little on the how, because that's what you said, this is what we get asked the most. Like I
yeah,
feel, women come into our world and we hear a lot that I don't know who I am anymore. I'm disconnected. I'm not sure what I want. I don't know what brings me joy. And obviously they embark on this incredible journey with us to uncover all that. So how do we do that? Where do we begin?
And this is where I truly believe this gets to be simple.
Mm,
And it's in the little bits every day, and it's in choosing to see her. I
mm,
did it, it was hand on heart moment. Like, I am a person, like, I have needs, I have wants, I have desires. Truly looking in that mirror and seeing you again. Not seeing the flaws that we point out left, right, and center, but actually looking yourself dead in the eyes and being like, wow, I'm here. Like, I'm me. Like, I matter. I wake up every single day to try my best. Like, how blooming incredible is that? So, that moment to truly, truly see yourself again. And I think that's what obviously we get to witness in terms of the Authentic Girls Club and experiencing, seeing our ladies have that moment. And then it's about listening to her. So
mm,
we've seen her. That's great. She's in the mirror. She's there. Her heart is beating. Listening to her. And I used to have to stop myself a lot, like in terms of the little decisions of like Dale would say, what do you want for tea? And I go, oh, I'll just have whatever you fancy. No, no, Charlotte, what do you fancy? Start voicing it. Start
mm,
listening to what it is you want again
mm,
and stop just handing it all away. And it sounds crazy, but those little decisions have brought me back to me.
mm,
And it gets to be as little as what you're going to choose to have for tea, just as much as, running with the big business idea that you have.
mm.
Um,
It's
so seeing,
important. I just want to
yeah,
add on that the importance of it being those little things because you can do those little
yeah,
things. It's almost like an easy way to start, isn't it? And
yeah,
then you build on that, and you're seeing yourself. You're listening to yourself. You're getting back in tune, aren't
yeah,
you? You're getting back in tune. You're listening because it might be an initial like, oh, I don't know what let's look at dinner. I don't know what I want, but instead of just going, well, I'll have what you want. So just take that moment, isn't it? Well, what do I want? Like, what do I
yeah,
fancy? And
yeah,
following through on that. And the more we do it in those little moments, then when it comes to things like the business idea, we've
yeah,
already built that evidence, and we're just
exactly.
more in tune with ourselves, which is a great place to then action those
Yeah,
bigger desires from.
yeah. And one of the others on that actually, in listening to myself, I remember like when people used to bump into me and I'd say sorry. And I used to really annoy myself at that because I'm like, why have I just said that?
Mm.
And then that was that option to listen to that and go, why have I just said that? Like, I don't
Hmm.
have to say that.
Mm. Yes.
I could, so it's that almost listening, but holding that something for yourself and going, that's not my need to apologize there.
Mm.
So actually, rather than just everything being giving away, actually holding those things back for
Yeah.
yourself, that was definitely part of the listening process. And then, like you say, to round it off, then honoring, following through. So, voicing what you want for dinner, stopping saying sorry, stopping excusing yourself for everything left, right, and center. And then I think when you get to that place and you're really honoring, doors start opening up for you to find your like who you are again. And you've almost created that space within you to start seeing it more and more.
Yeah.
And for me, one of those initial steps before the business idea actually was my Instagram page, which I set out to help other people. Huge people pleaser. Charlotte was like, I'm just going to share all my truths and just so that I can help you. But what was actually really beautiful about that journey was it really helped me find me. And it was
Mm.
a real door opener because it was almost really like journaling out loud and
Mm.
honoring myself and following through for myself with that. And I remember kind of the girls were getting a little bit older, and I was like, oh, this is kind of feels a bit more uncomfortable to make it all about them. And I realized how much I was making it about them. And then it was this decision to actually let's make it about me.
Yeah.
So I started trying to, that was when I kind of brought in a little bit of like the fashion side. And I was like sharing a few outfits that I wore, trying to take pictures of myself, which was a whole thing in itself in terms of finding me again because I remember I really struggled taking pictures of myself. I felt like as soon as that camera went click, I went stiff as a board. And I was like, that picture in my head, the visual of what it actually was like was nothing like it. So I had to get really creative to let myself be me. And that looked like balancing on a potty.
Yes.
And it looked like I remember one that I saw recently doing a handstand and taking a picture of my outfit like from upside down, like just really flipping things on their head to just let myself be me again.
Yeah.
And that was really liberating to just go through that process. And it's removing that things have to be a particular way. Like you've got this image in your head of what it's going to look like, but actually letting yourself go, well, what's my take on that? How can I, do that? Does that make sense?
Absolutely. Yeah, totally. It's giving yourself
Yeah,
on this journey to that freedom to express yourself and know that
yeah,
it's okay. You don't have to be a certain way. You don't have to fit in. You don't have to you can just be you. You can be you and you can be loved unconditionally by yourself, by others, um, for being that true, authentic self. And a big thing that happens when we do embark on this journey is confidence just absolutely
yeah,
accelerates, doesn't it? Because the more you are you, doesn't life just feel easier? Like, I don't know how you feel, but rather than
yeah,
this kind of like constant, I don't know, out of alignment, it feels on an energetic level exhausting. But when you
yeah,
explore and remember, sorry, like who you are and start living in alignment with that, like the energy just it comes back tenfold. It really, really does.
it
And
does.
for me, the process of going through it, so seeing myself and listening and then honoring, it started for me in terms of like boundaries. So saying
Yeah.
no when I didn't want to do things rather than saying yes to please, or
Mhm.
going along with conversations that I kind of just felt a little bit uncomfortable and didn't really necessarily agree with them. But historically, I would have just agreed and gone along with it to make everybody else feel comfortable. Where inside I'm going, that doesn't sit right with me, but too afraid to voice, I suppose, an opinion. So it's kind of those little maneuvers that now, if if I'm in a conversation and I don't agree with the person, like I don't have to be a dick about it, but I can voice it.
Yeah.
The confidence has come because I'm now in tune with me and what I actually feel about, the said topic. So yeah.
What you've just said there is great. The voicing your opinion, and you've just really
Mm.
ignited something in me that actually I think that's what I started to do in my journal.
Yes.
And that was a really great place to actually have an opinion again. And I think
Mm.
we've got to have an opinion again. I think there's
Mm.
sometimes as we've been raised to be good girls, right? And just to be quiet, to just get on with
Mm.
things, to
Mm.
keep the peace. And like you say, it's not being an we don't have to be an idiot, but we get to have an
No.
opinion. we get
Yes.
we get to
Yes.
share our thoughts and feelings, but the only person that can build the confidence in that is us. And that definitely started for me in my journal and me kind of
Yeah.
looking at things that I was living through that lens and sitting with myself. And maybe if I'd not voiced something, oh, like Charlotte, what's going on there? Why didn't you say that? Because actually that's quite a valuable thing that you could have added there. Like,
Mm.
that and I started to really build that rapport with myself so that then when it came into real life situations, I just started speaking out a little bit more, like being a part of the conversation, not just shying away and just agreeing with everything and everybody. But again, it
Definitely.
didn't look like, I don't know, it's crazy, isn't it? It's not like having arguments with people because
No.
when I look at the things that I wanted to voice, like it was tiny little things, like little additions, little bits of wisdom or things that I've picked up along the way. Like it was, yeah, crazy.
Yeah.
But
Definitely.
in my head, it was such a risk of being silly or being naive. That was one of my big chords. I'm just naive,
Mm.
wasn't it? We've spoken
Yes.
about that before.
Yeah.
Quite a good few episodes ago, I feel,
Yeah.
but that was one of my biggest ones. And that came from one of my amazing friends telling that to me well, she might have said it a few times actually. But I was a really trusting person when I was
Mm.
younger, and
Mm.
she'd said the word naive, and I put that label on my box and carried it with me throughout all of my life. And that was a chord that stopped me speaking out because I'm just naive.
Mm.
Like,
Wow.
and that kept me small. Not to blame for her at all. Like, I love her to pieces, but I'd taken that and ran with that, and I
Yeah.
didn't need to have done.
No. And just to touch on then, so that's the, I suppose that's the simplistic approach, isn't it? It's see yourself, like look in that mirror, look in
Yeah,
that mirror, see yourself as someone who matters,
yeah,
who does their best, and then listen, get back in tune. What do you want?
yeah,
How do you feel? And then honor it, honor those needs, honor those boundaries, honor those feelings, and follow through with that.
yeah,
And you will remember who you are because that
yeah,
we're in there. And the best tool is journaling definitely got me off the blocks with this 100%,
yeah,
110%.
yeah,
And I know the questions that you shared with me that I used was the how am I today and what do I need from me today? Those two simple questions every morning got me off the blocks every morning
yeah.
and really,
Same.
really helped me. And I know they did,
Yeah,
obviously they did with you too. That's what you were
yeah,
using at the time. But we can answer that like, how am I today? We know how we feel
yeah.
and what do I need and lean into that. And
I remember it.
that's bringing you back in tune, isn't it?
It really is. And I remember when it first started, it was like, "How are you today, Charlotte?" And it'd be like, "I'm fine, thank you. How are you?" And it would literally, just for me to be able to get to the
Mm,
blowing point, I had to physically write that out and have that conversation with myself because it
yeah.
felt so uncomfortable to be with myself on the page. So
Yes.
if there's resistance with journaling, guys, oh my gosh, know that that is part of the process.
Mm,
Push through it because what's on the other side of it is an incredible relationship with yourself. And we are with ourselves 24/7, 7 days a week, literally our whole lives. Like, let's make that the most incredible relationship because why on earth not?
yeah.
And that's been, oh, getting back to my authentic self and actually having a relationship with my authentic self again is incredible, is so
Mm,
healing. And healing in a way as well that, hasn't meant going into the depths of the darks of the
mm,
thingies, but just giving myself what I need as I go. And
mm.
if an old version of myself pops up, looking at her with all the wisdom that I have today, and knowing that I can just nip back over, give her a big cuddle, give her all that she needed then, and take her with me,
Yeah.
and just be back together again and remove all of this external noise of I need to be this, I need to be that.
Mm,
Like, no, we need to just be ourselves. And every single one of us has such a uniqueness inside. And interestingly, it's often the uniqueness that we dull down and we push away. But bringing that into the light is the best thing we can do, isn't it?
absolutely.
So,
Oh,
oh, there we go,
I'm
guys.
excited. I'm excited for everybody that is listening and that is embarking on this journey to build a better relationship with themselves because we know what it's like, don't we? Like I
Yeah,
used to hate spending time on my own. I used to
yeah,
hate it, and now I blooming love it because I really do love myself,
yeah.
like unconditionally, and
Let's say that right now. I love myself
yeah,
too. Like, how
yeah,
amazing is that?
and I love spending time with me. I treat
Yeah,
myself like somebody I love
yeah,
because, like, why not?
yeah.
Because I've got a photo, I'm staring at it right now on the other side of my laptop of, I'm going to say, 10-year-old me. In fact,
Let's see
here
it.
she is, look. Here she
See
is.
it. So see her. Sorry,
See
see
her?
it.
Don't know if
Yes.
you can see it. But there she is. And like, this is me. Like, I am here. Like, she's not got anywhere. And
No,
would I ever speak to her in the ways that I've possibly spoke to myself in the past? Like, no, that's not how I would
no.
love her. That's not how I would encourage her. That's not how I would support her. So it's yeah, you absolutely on the, you hit the nail on the head sharp when you said build the best relationship with yourself because we spend all our times with ourselves and to love yourself unconditionally is the best gift we can ever give to ourselves and to those around us.
100%. So that's the how, guys. See yourself, listen to yourself, honor yourself. in every single day and in as many moments as you possibly can. And bit by bit, surely but surely, you will get back to exactly who you are. That energy will come back again. And yeah, your authentic self, she's there. She's right there. Like you say, there's no searching, there's no finding involved. Like it's just a remembering.
Amazing.
Oh, we'd love to know how you get on with this. So please do drop into our DMs, guys, at the Authentic Girls Club on Instagram. And we'd love to hear how you get on with this. Sending our
Speak to you
love.
soon.
Speak to you
Bye.
soon.
Bye.
Bye. What if today was the last day you ever woke up and thought, is this it? You were not born to settle. And in 1 hour inside Wake Up Excited, we'll prove it to you. Wake Up Excited is a free masterclass for the woman who is ready to stop settling and start living life on her terms. In just 60 minutes, you are going to rewrite the story you're living by and reignite the spark that makes you wake up excited again. Your next chapter doesn't start someday. It starts the moment you choose it. And if this conversation lit something up inside of you, this is your moment. The link is waiting for you in the show notes, and we cannot wait to see you there.